Welcome to week 49 of Hashtag Crafty Hope prompts. This is a project I created for myself, but I've opened it up for anybody else that wants to play along. Basically, there's 52 cards in playing card deck, 52 weeks a year, and I thought that was a great opportunity to make myself a prompt deck with 3 cards on each card, with 3 prompts on each card. Woo! And so I made a list of 156 prompts, and each Monday I'm pulling 3 of those prompts from this can and altering a playing card with them. I'm altering both sides. One side is my decorative side and the other side is my functional side. This is the one I made for week 48. So I'm doing that each Monday, just drawing 3 prompts, altering a card. And then on Saturday of each week, I do a project with those prompts that isn't an altered playing card. So this past week I did this pretty little tag with the prompts that I drew on this card. I've done art journal pages and junk journal pages and assemblages and bookmarks and jewelry and I don't even know, all kinds of things. I've kind of rotated a lot of the same things, tags and things like that. But if you have suggestions, hurry up. We're getting towards the end of this, as it is week 49. So let's draw some prompts and get to it. Before I do that, like I said, this is open to you. If you want to play along, I have my full list of 156 prompts down in the description box below. It's a link. You may have to click that more button down there to see it, but it's there. And you're welcome to use those prompts, or you can use the ones that I draw every week and do an art journal page or an assemblage or an altered card or tag or however you want to be inspired. Yeah, so use my prompts. Somehow use that hashtag Crafty Hope prompts and tag me. I'm at Crafty Hope in all kinds of social media. So let's put these 49 cards to the side. And we're going to see what we're going to have. No, 48 cards. Sorry, this is 49. And draw and see what we've got this week. So our first prompt for week 49 is going to be paint pen. Ooh, I'm excited about that. So if you've got Posca paint pens or Sharpie markers or even just plain old paint pens, I know the Dollar Tree sometimes has them. The Dollar Tree also often carries these like glitter markers that work a lot like a paint pen. And I just bought some new paint pens from the Target, from Target. Excuse me. That could be really fun to play with. So a paint pen of some kind. If you do not have a paint pen, use paint in a way that you would use a paint pen maybe. So think about, using a really blunt paintbrush, maybe something like this, and dip it in some paint so that it can be used like a paint pen. Yeah, so, and if you've got like a watercolor marker, maybe that can be considered a paint pen as well, because watercolor is a type of paint and a marker is kind of a pen. So, or if those words in some way inspire you in some other direction, go for it. This is just things that I wanted to make sure I used in my art. Okay, so that is prompt 1. Prompt 2 is, of course, the tickle's coming back now. Prompt 2 is ledger. Okay, so I have 1, maybe 2 old ledgers that I often neglect to use because they are too precious, which is ridiculous. I know. But basically that prompt is telling me to use it. But if you also have like some kind of ledger paper or graph paper or anything else, maybe with some old handwriting or something along those lines, use that. That's when I say ledger, it's, I'm thinking like a graph type paper, maybe something with writing in it. For me, it's more than likely going to be an old ledger, but I do have somewhere, I have no idea where it is at the moment. I'm looking across. Oh yeah, I see it. I'll pull some of these things out and show them to you in a second. So those things would be great. All right, prompt number 3 is going to be dictionary. All right, I'm happy with that too. That's two different types of paper, but that's fine. We can use them in different ways, I am sure. Dictionary. Pretty much anybody has an old dictionary that they can tear a page out of. But if not, some other type of old book that you can pull a page from. I often use it for collage. I really like how thin dictionary pages tend to be. But dictionary also gives you that opportunity, because there are often images inside of them, or letters, or different things that you can use. You can even cut out words if you wanted to build up something. So let me go grab these three things. I'm going to pull out my card here, and yeah, we're gonna make a playing card. All right, guys, I've gathered some things. These are big things. All right, so paint pen. I do have this tin of a variety of different paint pens, mostly Posca markers, but I also have some of the Sharpie water-based paint pens. I've got some Molotow paint pens. These are Curiana Winks. I don't even know that those work. That's another Molotow. I feel like I've got these dilution paint pens. So yeah, there's also, and I swear I've got did I recently get rid of it? I had some really cheap ones in here, but I think I went through some of these and tested them, because I also bought these Mondo Llama ones. This set of 16 was like 20 bucks at Target. You might be able to find it cheaper now that school supplies are on sale, but it's actually with the art supplies. So anyway, I was excited about it because the colors are non-traditional. There's not a primary blue in here. There's a turquoise and a light blue. So even though there is a light blue here. Anyway, I was excited about some of the colors that were in here. Were a little different from a typical paint pen set. Ledger. Okay, my precious. Alright, so there's basic ledger paper. I have this that I picked up at a thrift store, and it says columnar pen. Y'all, I can't speak. And it's this green paper. It's just ledger, and it's huge. It's really big. Does this say it's 11 by 16 and 3/8? So it's a really big ledger pad. I also have a couple of smaller ones that I also picked up thrifting. So there's this one, again, columns. This says record book, but it also says account books in here. So, and it's got the numbered pages at the top and everything. So I've got those, but then I've got the more, hold on, I'm struggling to find places to put things right now. Okay, so I have two of these. This one came in a lot that I got years and years ago of a bunch of different papers. It was a whole family's history of papers. This is severely damaged with some kind of stain in the middle. I really believe it's I cannot tell what it is, but I think it's Coca-Cola, because it has a sweet scent to it, but around the edges of it's really brittle. It just, yeah, can you see that? So it has eaten up some of the paper. It could be something worse than Coca-Cola. I don't know. But like I said, it has a sweet smell to it. I don't know. Could be antifreeze. I don't know. So I have this one that I don't really pull out very often. And this is another one that I have. That's from, y'all, it kills me that it says 19 and then it's a 1, but it really runs this is 1917, but toward the back over here is 1927. So it's, yeah, the teens and 20s, so it's 100 years old. I don't use it very often because it's so precious, and I need to not make it precious. So those are my ledgers. And dictionary. Okay, guys, so that's as simple as just a soft cover Webster's dictionary. These, no big deal. You can have another larger dictionary like this. Like I said, it has the super thin pages. I also like that, like at the beginning here, you get the big B. You've also got lots of pictures. So that's always lots of fun. And then you can use a language dictionary. So this is a French, it says Berlitz Basic French Dictionary. So, yeah, so that's another type of dictionary. There are all kinds of other dictionaries. If you had a thesaurus instead of a dictionary, you know, you do you. Again, use these in the way that inspire you. It doesn't have to be exact. If paint pen makes you think of just doodles, just do doodles. This is about getting inspired and creating. All right, I'm gonna move some of these things around. So I have a little more room off to the side here, and we're gonna get started. I was apparently in a super chatty mood when I recorded that. My goodness, y'all, I apologize. I'm going to simply collage on both sides of these by putting down one side. I'm going to put a piece of dictionary paper, and the other side is going to be a piece of ledger paper, and that will be it. I am just trying to cover up the plastic coating of these cards. The cards themselves are just a substrate for me, something thicker than regular paper. So I put down some acrylic matte medium to cover that one side, and this, y'all, I'm trying to think, this dictionary is probably from the 70s, I would think. It was my uncle's, and somehow I inherited it. So now so I'm gonna trim the edges of this. And yeah, simple. I'm keeping it super easy. Like I said, these, having two different types of paper on here, ledger paper and dictionary paper, makes it a little more difficult. But if you want to, find images that have a ledger, images that have a dictionary, that works too. Things that might have come, maybe stamps that you have that look like they have come out of a dictionary or something like that, so that you don't have to use the actual papers. So think on it, how it best inspires you. I've given you tons of suggestions, and see, I was super chatty now. Apparently I am doing it again. The ledger paper I'm using here is from that damaged ledger. I figure I might as well use it. I did try to make sure that the distinguishing number that is in it is up at the top. I probably should have looked to see if there was a number 49, so I could have put that there for my week 49. But hindsight and all. All right, so I'm getting real persnickety about making sure all that's down. I thought maybe I was going to add something to the top of that. I did not. So I cleaned up my desk, and I'm going to go straight in with a paint pen. This is a Posca paint pen. My Posca paint pens have been just about used up. When my niece lived with me, she borrowed them quite often, and I think she actually used them more often than I did. So she got some for her birthday this year, and she was thrilled. So I'm using the gray one just to put some lines on here, some vertical lines, to kind of break up the dictionary text that's in the background, to keep it as texture, and so the words and all that don't come through. So yeah, just a little bit of some mark making, really. And I really like that it kind of almost gives it a grid pattern there. And then I bring in this light green, and I start making these donut O's. Now, I think it's funny, at the top of the page, it does have a big O, because apparently that's the page I pulled from, was the O's. So there's an O up at the top of the page, and I wonder if that influenced me. And you can see that the color changes there. I don't know if maybe that's where the mixed color started coming in, but I'll go over my other O's so that it's all the same color. But this dictionary paper is super porous. It's not like that thinner paper. This is more like paperback book paper that's really porous and newsprinty. So it was kind of soaking up the paint that I was putting down there. But I really wanted to doodle, and I kept trying to just go straight in with my paint pens, forgetting that they're paint pens. They need to be shook, they need to be primed, they need to be ready to go. So yeah, and I don't know why I chose this peach color, because it almost completely disappears into this, into this paper here. I was trying to really just get some doodling and play with layering these. I had no specific design in mind, but yeah, I don't know. I come back in with this brown one and I'm adding, these almost like bullet targets, which is, yeah. So I get those. I'm going to accent on top of the green there with this brown, which was very pleasant. So I think layering, I probably should just put a little gesso down on here, but I kind of wanted the actual elements that I had to show through, and I kind of stuck for the most part to just the prompts that I had to make this card. So yeah, something in me decided that these were odd little flowers, so I'm drawing the stems with that brown marker. I'll add a couple of leaves, and at this point I'm like, wait, is this my prompt side or my decorative side? I need to figure that out. So I flip it over and decide to go ahead and start looking through the other dictionary I have that's more traditional, and I find a photo there, y'all. A photo, it's a image, and I don't even know, because I cut out what the actual word is. I can't remember what it is. Was it in the P's? I don't remember. Yeah, it's a picture of a woman playing some kind of harp-ish instrument. I don't know. I really should have kept whatever the word was there so that it really shows that this was from the dictionary. But again, hindsight. So I got that cut out after having some issues with all of my scissors. And so there's ledger paper, there's dictionary, but I was like, I kind of need some more texture or something on here. And how else can I bring in dictionary? So I decided to pick up that other piece of dictionary that's sitting there and just tear down a piece. It tears kind of wonky, but that's okay. I'm going to layer it behind this image of this woman. But I need to also bring in paint pen. So I think you can tell, y'all, I'm thinking my fingers aren't tapping, but I was like, okay, what do I want to do? So I move everything off and I'm going to grab this Sharpie paint pen in gold and I prime it really good and I am flinging it. When I primed it over there, do you see how much ink got on my underpaper? Yeah. We'll come back to that in just a second. First, I'm going to try to dry this. You see, I put some of that dictionary paper underneath to keep from putting it in that wet paint. But I have grabbed another small paintbrush and I'm dipping it into that gold paint that was on the side and putting some more splatter because you can't go wrong with more splatter. I wanted to grunge this up just a little bit, make it more my style, so I've reconstituted some instant coffee that I keep on my desk, and I'm just putting it in a couple corners, a little bit of splatter, not much. I don't want it to overtake that gold. I needed some coffee on there, y'all. It just felt right. So once I get that, I did water it down a little with a spritz from a distress sprayer of some water and then tried it and decided to dip into those new paint markers from Target. And I picked up this turquoise one, which is one of the main reasons I bought this set, is this color of marker. And I'm doing a little mark making, some little dashes on there to add a touch of color on this what's otherwise going to be a really simple card. Like I said, I kind of strictly stuck to my prompts on this one. I think I knew how long I had talked and was like, yeah. And there's some futzing in here that I have cut off because, yeah, it was just little things like picking up things on my desk and looking at them. Nothing that really influences the making of this card. Since this is paper to paper and it's all super thin, I'm using an Uhu glue stick to stick down my pieces of dictionary paper, both kinds. I'm going to pick up around my desk and think about this and decide what I need to do. I think I end up pulling out, I've got a little, I thought I was going to write in something. So I grabbed that Dylusions paint pen there and I cannot get it to work. And I just felt like right this second while I was on camera was not the best time to try to get it to work. So I'm going to try a little bit. I'll pull out one of the Molotow pens, and I also have trouble with those. I will tell you that both of those pens I bought on like clearance, and if they don't work, it's because I had, first off, I bought them on clearance, which meant they were old, and I have had them sitting around forever, so that's on me. So I was like, let me just pull out some already made words. So I get my little International Coffee tin that's got little snippets of things, and find something that says something like sings the song she loves, which I thought was kind of perfect for a lady sitting there with an instrument in her lap. So I'm going to cut this down so it fits better on the card, and ink up all the edges with some Distress ink in walnut stain. So yeah, once I get that inked, I think I'm going to go ahead and stick it down with that Oohoo glue stick again. Oh no, I decided I needed more black on this card for the black that was in the image. So I've got that Posca paint pen, and I did, so you can see how far down or how far up I was holding that to just get something super sketchy on there. And now I will go ahead and stick down my little sentiment there. I really, that little bit of scribble was a little bit of nothing, but it was exactly what this needed. A little bit of black on there as well. All right, so now this side is done. I'm going to flip over to the other side and think about it for a minute. And I've come back and I've trimmed down my prompt words, and I realize I have not added ledger to this side yet. So I've got that green ledger paper that I've got, and I'm tearing it down just in this little strip that I'm going to stick my prompt words on. But those prompt words are super white on that copy paper, and I decided to go ahead and just darken them up with that same walnut stained Distress ink. I'm kind of going over the top of the words just lightly so that paper isn't like, hey, there's something bright and white here. So it just helped push it back a little bit. And then once I get those all inked, I will again use a Oohoo glue stick and stick those words onto my strip of ledger paper. And I think it's funny that, those flowers that I made are green and this ledger paper is green, and that was totally unplanned, but it absolutely works. So yeah, intuitive mixed media art. It's how I roll. So I will glue this down also with that Oohoo glue stick, and I think I'm going to grab that Posca pen and write the number 49 in the upper right. And I'm going to think this is finished for a minute and decide that no, I need to ink all the edges of this. Yeah, I'm going to write my 49. I will end up inking, and it seems like I go to do something else too. Y'all, I could have kept futzing with this forever and ever because I kept saying, I only really used the prompts for this. I didn't use anything else. Here, I'm like, I'm done. But I was like, no, it's missing something. It needs something. So, yeah. And, I have to pull out the ink because that ink blender was getting dry. Yeah, and I'm going to ink the edges both sides, and I will be done with this in just a second. If y'all have any questions about this challenge, about this card, about any of it, please ask me. If you've got comments, let me know. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, and come back later and see what else I've got going on. Oh, I did decide that the inside of those flowers looked a little plain, so I'm putting just some white dots in them. It ends up blending into that paper, and you can't really see them in the end, but I did it. All right, guys, that is going to be it. I appreciate you taking this time to listen to me blather, and I hope I have inspired you in some way. Now go create something. Thanks so much. Bye.